I went for like 3 months where we didn't have sex, and I was like, yes, I'm doing so good. You know what I should do to celebrate this? I should have sex. Hello everyone, and welcome back to A Mile in My Stilettos. Today I'm going to be telling you all about my celibacy journey. Woo! Now, let me start off by saying this. One, if you are a parent or something like that has been telling your children sex is bad, it's not good, like all that type of stuff, them not the type of lies I'm going to be spreading in this video. So you might want to tell them to click off, don't watch this, because I'm not going to tell the lie that sex isn't good, because sex is good. That's just the facts, and facts are facts. Did that. The second thing I would say is my celibacy journey was a challenge. Like, it was not easy for me at all. I didn't just go into a room and meditate for 3 hours, or, you know, pray, God, please take my sex drive away, and it went away like that. That didn't work. So it wasn't easy for me. So just know these truths and these facts that you are about to be getting are about to be, they're just about to be the truth. They're about to be the truth. You know, I like to bring you truth and transparency and honesty. So now that those disclaimers are out the way, on to my celibacy journey. So you guys, my celibacy journey definitely started rough. And I would say it started rough because the first time I went celibate, I can say honestly, I know it wasn't because I wanted to be celibate. The first time that I decided to be celibate, I did it because I was pressured into it. Like, honestly, like, my parents was like, don't be having sex. My mentors was like, don't be having sex. You know, I had friends that was like, why you having sex? Like, we wasn't raised this way. Like, you shouldn't be having sex. Like, if you have sex, you a hoe. Like, these were the thoughts that were in my head. And it's not, they had the best intentions. They really did. However, celibacy, the journey to be celibate, can't be something that is pressured onto a person and allows them to be successful at it. It has to be a decision that comes from within. And the only backings I really have for trying to be celibate was like, I thought, man, if I be having sex, I'm probably going to, you know, trip and fall and die because I'm just out here sinning having sex. And you know, dead that, because clearly I'm still alive. If you're in a stage of celibacy because you feel like people are telling you you have to be celibate, or you're gonna probably burn up in flames in hell, like, or, you know, like a fear tactic like that, or if you're trying to be celibate because, you know, maybe your parents who want the best for you, or a friend or a mentor or whoever is trying to convince you, like, no, you need to stop having sex, you need to stop having sex. The fear tactics, the peer pressure, like, is probably not going to stand up to the test of time. And that's what happened to me my first time around trying to be celibate. It didn't stand the test of time. And again, I know that was because it wasn't rooted in a decision that I wanted to make. It was rooted in, it wasn't very rooted at all. It was really just coming from a place of me trying to please other people by deciding not to do something with my body. And, you know, there's more I can say about that. I might do another video situation, a live or something, where I go into more detail about that. But ultimately, pressuring yourself or being pressured by others into celibacy, it's not really gonna work. And that first time when I tried to be celibate, I was already in a relationship with somebody, and we was having sex. And then I was like, you know what, we're not gonna have sex anymore because I'm gonna be celibate because it's the right thing to do. And they was like, what? No, like, I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for a relationship with sex. And what you mean no? And so that was a challenge, because then not only was I pressured into my decision, now I'm trying to pressure the person that I'm dating into the decision that I made. And I don't think that wasn't right. It wasn't right the way that I went about it. And I would say it's definitely easier to enter into a relationship with that thought process up front of, hey, we're entering into this relationship and there will be no sex, versus if you're already dating somebody and you're having sex and then trying to stop having sex. Like, that's going to be a challenge, and it's not impossible, but you guys are going to have to really get on the same page concerning why you're stopping. So again, that first time I tried to be celibate, it was a wrap. It didn't work out well. That whole relationship, it ended. Not just because of the sex thing, but because of other stuff too. But it didn't work out well. I felt pressured. I was trying to pressure him. Then I felt bad because it was like, okay, I went for like 3 months where we didn't have sex, and I was like, yes, I'm doing so good. You know what I should do to celebrate this? I should have sex. Like, and I don't know, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, how can you reward yourself for not doing something by doing it? It's like when you be dieting and you're like, oh man, I'm not gonna eat no fried foods, and you go 5 days with no fried foods, and on that 6th day you like, you know what, to reward myself for not eating fried foods, I'm gonna eat something fried. Like, that's literally how my mentality like went. And again, that just goes to show I wasn't doing it for me, I was doing it for people around me. And just to be like, oh yeah, like I made it 3 months, like yay me, like, you know, and did that. So on to the second time I decided I was going to be celibate. So the second time I was going to be celibate, I had stopped dating that other guy, like I said, for whatever reasons and different stuff. But I had been out, I had been living my life, having fun. And by living my life, having fun, I mean I was having sex. And I was like, okay, I got to a place where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to just be out having sex with these people, because I'm really opening myself up to get hurt. And even though it wasn't like, oh, I'm in this terrible place, like I was noticing that there would be times where I would get attracted to this person, and I would think the relationship was more than it was because I was having sex with them. And honestly, that was vice versa too. Sometimes there would be people, they thought the relationship was more than it was because I was having sex with them, and I no. And so I realized I was opening up myself to a situation where I could get hurt, and other people were getting hurt by me because they had opened themselves up to me. And I would say a lot of times that's a second phase or reason sometimes that people choose to start a journey of celibacy. It's like, well, I don't want to hurt people, and I don't want to get hurt by people. And that's a good reason. It's honestly a good reason. I mean, and I was able to stand on that reason alone for literally like over a year. I want to say that next time that I decided to restart my celibacy journey, I was celibate for like a year and a half. Like, I did so good. I was like, I'm telling you, like, I'll meet people, I'll be out and about, and people are like, oh, you look really nice, and I'll be like, I'm celibate, so go your way. And it was funny because it was almost as if I felt like I couldn't even be in no relationship with nobody. I really couldn't be dating and talking to people because I was celibate. And that is not a healthy celibacy journey. Trying to avoid people at all costs just to make sure you keep your legs closed. Like, that's not a healthy celibacy journey. Avoidance is not a healthy celibacy journey. Like I said, it's easy to say what you're not going to do when there's no one there to do it. And so that was probably the definition of this stage of my celibacy journey. I just avoided being around people that would tempt me into having sex with them. But then that sucks, because how are you ever going to build a relationship with someone that can be lasting, that has sex and all that, if you're avoiding people at all costs to try to stay celibate? Like, it's not going to work. And I was like, okay, I'm doing really good. I'm staying away from people, and I'm not gonna hurt nobody, and nobody's gonna hurt me. And I built up all these, walls, these emotional walls and stuff like that to really keep people away. I'm gonna tell you the downfall that occurred of me building up these emotional walls to try to keep from having sex, to keep from hurting people, to keep other people from hurting me. When I fell off the celibacy wagon that next time, since I had built up all these emotional walls, I hurt everybody. And I feel in retrospect, I definitely feel bad. I feel bad that I hurt people because I have built up walls in a way that I wasn't going to get hurt. I wasn't going to get hurt if I was having sex, if I was going out on a date, if whatever I was doing, I was not going to get hurt. But you, you might end up hurt, but honestly, in my mind, I was thinking, how could you get hurt? Because I'm not even finna be kicking it with you that much, that long, in a way that you could even have the potential to get hurt, because I'm keeping my distance. Like, distance is key. So, you know, like I said, I fell off that celibacy wagon because, again, it was about me trying to figure out ways to alleviate pain and alleviate hurt. And as soon as you come into a place where you're not feeling that hurt anymore, you a lot of times just open yourself back up to somebody nice that comes along, or whatever the case may be, and you end up having sex again. And so that's what happened. I ended up having sex again. And I was like, oh man, here I am out in these streets, living my life, living it up, enjoying life. And so I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. And one thing I will also say about the celibacy journey that I had is I continuously put myself in positions that were gonna lead to sex. You know, when you're putting yourself in situations that are going to lead to you having sex, you know that. If you've had sex before, you know that. I put myself in situations where I was counting on the other person to stop something from happening. And if you're serious about your celibacy journey, you can never put that on the other person. It has to be your choice on you. So I would put myself in positions that were like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna have sex with anybody, but I'm gonna just go over and we just go, you know, watch some movies until the wee hour of the morning, and, you know, probably nothing will happen. Yes, probably something is going to happen. You at somebody's house watching movies till wee hour in the morning, and you know you're attracted to them, and you know they're attracted to you. Like, and you know you go and you put on them pants that make your booty jiggle just a little bit extra. You know you put on the shirt that got the deep V. Like, you know you're doing these things and you're like, I'm only going to take these couple steps. But if they come the rest of the way, then that's on them. They got me to do it. I didn't know you got you to do it. And so I would definitely say try to avoid compromising positions. Like, and I'm trying to see how far I'm gonna go in this video. I feel like if you're still in this video right now, right here today, in this moment, this far in, you here for it, you want the truth. And so these are things that are going to dead your whole celibacy journey. Like, you have to know what are triggers for you. If you know kissing is gonna be the thing, if they get on that neck and you're gonna be like, anything you want, anything, like, you can't be letting people kiss on your neck. Like, if you know they start touching in the hands, and they just start, when the hands get to different areas, it's gonna all like just click over and switch over. You have to know, okay, like, we can watch this movie, but we're gonna have to keep a cushion in between us. Like, you know, if you know, okay, if we're at the home by ourselves, like we're alone in this situation, it's gonna pop off. You have to know what your triggers are for you. And let me say this will never, ever, ever work in a celibacy. Just the that's not a thing. That is not a thing. It's in celibacy, that is not a thing. I'm not gonna say nothing else about that right there. I might go into more detail on a live video, but again, not a thing. So, third time around, after, again, I lived a little life, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to return to my celibacy journey. I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to walk this out. Okay, so the third round of my celibacy journey, I was celibate for a little over 3.5 years. Like, y'all, probably some of the hardest 3.5 years of my life. Like, but I didn't date for like a first little bit of that time. I didn't date anybody at all. I wanted to discover the value that I held in myself. And honestly, if you want to have a successful celibacy journey, it's going to be rooted in value, valuing who you are, what you have to offer, the energy that you bring. Because one thing I'll say, like, if you're out just having sex, like, your energy, like, it'll drain you. Like, it can really drain pieces of who you are. And I was like, I wanted to be the highest, like, best, most vibrant person of myself. And I realized, like, when I'm having sex with these people, like, I'm not me. I'm not the best version of me. Understanding your value, like, that's a really great way to start a celibacy journey. Coming from a place of valuing who you are, yourself, what you bring to the table. That's a good route. That's a good route, and that's a good start. And so honestly, I probably took like a really good year where I wasn't even really going on dates, and that was because I was trying to really hone in on my value. What I knew I could bring to the table in a relationship besides sex. I wanted to know, what could I say I had to offer other than my body? And I think sometimes when we're in a relationship and we're not practicing celibacy, when things get hard or tough, arguments, whatever type of stuff happens, we get to a place where we're like, okay, well, I'm at a roadblock. Let me offer this sex. Like, you know what? We get in these arguments. Let me come through with sex. Like, you offer that up as something to show you still care, that you still have value, and your sex should not be something that's used to show somebody or prove to somebody how much you care. It shouldn't be something that's done to try to represent a value that you bring. It should be something that expresses love that you have, that enhances the value that's already being brought. And so, like I said, I took some time to really just sit and think about, what else can I bring to the table? What else do I have to offer outside of my body, outside of sex? And so that was, again, that happened for about a year. I went through that. And then after that, entering to the second year, it continued to go well. I did start to see people. I just very casually, I wanted to know the next person I have sex with, I wanted to be the last person, because I was just tired of giving up pieces of myself. And so going into the third year of my celibacy, I was doing good. I was rocking strong. And then it's like the ones from the woodworks, like, how when you're single, like, you'll have those people that are like in the woodworks, that is like, you can call them up or they can call you up, and you can do what y'all gonna do. And by that I mean have sex, and y'all could go your ways, and there ain't really gonna be no issues. Like, then people started trying to pop up, and I was like, nope, not doing it, not doing it. And I would definitely say, if you're really serious about your celibacy journey, you gotta cut them people off. You have to cut them people off, because there's a level of comfort zone there that allows you to, one thing about, I'm not really adding like bodies, like I'm not adding to my body count if I'm doubling back. So you have to really cut out that level of comfort zone and be like, no, I need to stop doing this. And so yeah, those people try to come out the woodworks, and I was like, nope, I'm straight, I'm good on that. Like, it got to a point in my celibacy journey, honestly, where I was just like, if I done did it this long, like, whatever. Like, I'm in it for the long haul at this point. And I was in it for the long haul. And then I met, it's easy to say what you're not going to do until somebody is there to do it. And when I say I met that, I'm talking about, I met my husband, Ricky Jones Jr. Baby. Because if it's easy to say what you're not going to do until it's somebody there to do it was a person. So I met my husband. I done already did a video on how I met him, married him, all that, y'all. You can go check that out if you want to see that. But I met my husband, and I was saying, oh, he's cute. He's cute. And I'm not gonna lie, since we in this real talk video, when I was in the marriage video, I was like, you know, I had paused and I was like, if there's somebody, look around the room and see if there's somebody worth me. Really, I was thinking, is there somebody here who could get it? Like, and when I see Ricky Jones shit, I said, he can get it. He can get it. And it wasn't even that I had not seen other, you know, handsome, attractive men around or whatever before seeing him. It's just that once I started to talk to him and get to know him, like really engage in that personal like connection where I felt like he would value all the things that I could bring to the table outside of sex, it made me want him more. It made me be like, oh yes, like he values me, he wants me for me, like yes, he can get it. So we started dating or whatever, and like we kissed, and when we had that first kiss, like I told y'all in the other video, like, you know, we had our first kiss, and that first kiss, we had our first kiss, and you have to understand, when I had that first kiss with Ricky, like it had been a while. It had been a while that I had allowed some things to, you know, be dormant in my life. And when we had that kiss, it awakened some things in my life. And I was like, so we had kiss, and I was like, okay. And he was like, and thank God, because see, and it's the thing, like God will keep you sometimes, cause I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling real weak in that moment of my celibacy journey. And just like I told y'all earlier in the video, don't ever put your celibacy journey on somebody else to keep that for you. In that moment, I took that jug and I chucked it at him like, listen, if we gonna stop, this go kiss you, cause you listen, cause if I'm being honest, I'm just being honest, cause that's what we're here today for, honesty and transparency. And thank God for the man that Ricky is, and him knowing that I had a desire to wait and to keep myself, you know, not, you know. And so we was kissing for a little while, and then he was like, okay, we gonna stop, and then we gonna stop because, you know, trying to do this celibacy thing. And I was like, yes. And he was just like, yeah, the next woman I had sex with, I wanted to be my wife. And I was like, me? Yeah. Husband, that's me. Yeah, I was. And it was like all this stuff that was in my mind. Like I knew I was in the stuttering, and I was, yeah, that's me too. We're on the same page here. And we really were on the same page. It's just that I had just lost that page in my book for a moment in time, for that time when we were standing there kissing. And so I was, yeah, you're right. That's the goal. That's the journey. That's what I want. And so, you know, I ended up marrying Ricky Jones Jr. And so I'm so excited. But yeah, so this, I don't know what y'all was necessarily expecting with this celibacy journey video. I don't know how much tea y'all was trying to get or whatever. I don't know if I gave y'all enough tea, not gave y'all enough tea. What I will say is this. Some tips for the celibacy journey. One, do it for you. Doing it for anybody other than you is not going to work. Two, be reasonable. And I guess I say be reasonable in the sense of be understanding. If you've been dating someone, you've been having sex with them, then suddenly you pop up with this new inspiration of not having sex no more, like they may not flow with that, and you're gonna have to know what decisions you're going to make for you and your personal decision when you're confronted with that. I would say other tips, don't did I say this already? Don't put yourself in situations that's gonna be compromising, that are going to lead to sex and you know it. Don't do that. I would say it is one of the best decisions I ever made. I know for a fact I would not be married to my husband today if I did not make the decision to go down that path, to go down that journey. And I say that because, one, I know who I was wouldn't have been the same. The energy that I had, my aura, my vibe, it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same. And that makes a huge difference, honestly. So I know going on that journey for me led me to my husband. It really did. And I'm so grateful for that. Even though there were nights where it was extremely rough, I cried, I was lonely, it was so hard. I'm glad. I'm so glad that I took the time and to put me first. Because honestly, when you're on a celibacy journey, one of the things that you're doing is you're putting you first. A discovery, a rediscovery of you, of self, a uncovering of insecurities. Because, like I said, I know in the past I would get to a point where I would try to mask insecurities that I had with sex by just being like, okay, well, let's cover all that up. Let's just have this sex. And so I know not having sex made me a better communicator with people. Yeah, it was a journey. It was a journey. It was a rough journey. I guess, yeah, there's more I could say. I might end up needing to do a part 2 of this video to go into some other stuff or live so that it's not, available repeatedly. You got to hear it that time, then it's gone. Just to go into more details, because it was one of the best decisions that I made, and I would definitely encourage anyone to do it if they're doing it for them, for the right reasons, not for the people around you, whatever other type of stuff, but doing it for you. A celibacy journey is putting you above all else, depending on what you're looking for in this season of your life. Is protecting your energy, protecting yourself, protecting all of that. So anyways, I feel like I've said so much, and I'm gonna have a video coming up on why I am glad that I got married a little later in life, and some other stuff. But anyways, y'all just like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It's a lot. This whole situation, this video, it was a lot. But yeah, so until next time.